today I get to speak about one of my favorite topics, given that if you guys have been keeping up with me for some time, you know that I love science, particularly meteorology and the earth sciences like geology. I wanted to share with you guys my opinion on my camera just tilted. My opinion on climate change. Do I think climate change is real? Well, the simple answer to that question is yes. I will attempt to explain it as best as I can why I believe this, but I did not do any reading prior to this. I am not basing my opinion of anything that I have read recently. This is just how I have felt and what I have observed in the environment, the little bit that I understand about science, and me looking into the future, how I feel something may affect something else. What makes me say that climate change is real is that I feel like people may not believe it's real because it's something that the changes take a long time for you to really perceive. So it's very easy for people to just dismiss it as, climate has been changing throughout the history of the earth. So why are we in 2017 concerned that it is going in a bad direction? We have evidence that climate change just happens, and it's like that, like just massive change happens and it's perceivable. But for me, the difference is that it's very evident and clear that mankind has had an impact on the environment. When an area gets deforested, that's something that the earth wasn't really planning on doing. It's something that we did. As a species, we are changing and reshaping the planet as it is. Just because we do not see the consequences of it immediately, overnight, doesn't mean that it's not happening. That's why anytime you read anything, any article that's weather related, they usually include data from decades ago and information collected decades ago. I feel like people should really become more informed on this phenomenon because this is something that affects us, every single one of us. It'll affect your health, the availability of resources in your area, and I wish that people would respect more the opinions of the folks who are experts in this field. Because if they are saying something, it's because they have the evidence and they are spending enough time observing and studying the environment to be able to make such assertions. In the short time that I have been alive, which is a little over 2 decades, I have seen just how much my surroundings have changed. I like to think of the planet as my own growth. Like for me, as a human, it took me years to be shaped into the person I am today. Same thing with the planet. You do not just become sick and completely messed up overnight unless something catastrophic happens, like you're caught in an explosion or an accident, something like that. But if you develop at the rate that you're biologically designed to, your changes take a while to appear in your body. Like for me, my height, I did not become this tall until my teenage years. So same thing with the planet. The planet is not going to be looking damaged and contaminated and hurt until many, many years. And given the grand scale of the planet, it's something that you cannot be expecting to be like, oh yeah, tomorrow the climate is going to be incredibly terrible because we just cut down this tree. So yeah, guys, I am being deliberately vague on this because I want for you to hear me out on my opinion, my perception from what I see myself. I do not live in the Amazon, so I really don't know what's happening over there. I do not really live by any of the major rivers in the United States to be able to tell you, yeah, it's really being dried up. But every year I do see that summers get brutally hotter, winters are not as cold as they used to be. They're kind of mild, but we do have occasionally one year in which we have this massive snowfall that we weren't counting on. And this year it was pretty chilly in my area well until March, and February itself was a little warmer. I remember there was a week in which the temperature was like close to the 70s or on the 70s, and I was able to wear short sleeves. That is completely abnormal because that's around the time that I'm still wearing multiple layers. If anybody has any questions or concerns about climate, I think you should really just study more, read as much as you can, make your own observations, challenge the information that you receive, but at the same time, hear them out. Don't just flat out say, oh no, climate change is not real. It's impossible for us to damage the planet in such a way. I think what makes me have this opinion is, like I said, I've observed stuff is changing, I see the trend. Also, my mind is very easy to shape because I'm already like inclined and passionate about the sciences. I'm not saying that you have to love the sciences to get it, because they are experts, people who devote to this, who disagree with the climate change. They just think it's a naturally occurring thing and its rate is normal. And the planet is really unpredictable because, we had some people say that we may be entering an ice age, which to me, it just feels so totally seems unlikely. Whereas other people say that we're going to turn into an oven toward the end of this century. They could both be right or they could both be wrong. I do believe that we as a species are contributing to the changes that we are perceiving. We are creating new chemicals and materials that the earth really on its own would have never developed. So I think it's something worthy of looking into. And the fact that we have stuff like the coral reef in Australia suffering so much and it's just bleaching and dying and all that, what can we do about it? Ultimately, that's what matters. What can we do about it? If we are worried about the direction that the planet is going, what can we do about it? Just work on it, which we are. We're finding ways to use more renewable energy. Climate change is real. I will forever believe that it is real and we are causing it. Because, there is a lot of us in the planet and we are an incredibly highly consuming society. So yeah, you guys, what do you guys think? Does this worry you? Does this matter to you? Do you care? Do you believe? Do you not believe? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you feel like roasting me? Do as you please, because I love to read what you guys say. Usually you guys present me with something like a link to something or just tell me the title of a video that I should watch and it changes my opinion on something entirely, or it reinforces my beliefs, or it helps me consider that, dang, I completely let that fly over my shoulder and I need to do better and be more objective and whatnot. So yeah, I am eager to read what you guys have to say, given that this is a subject that I am really passionate about. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in and I will see you soon.